Eugene is, campus is large, and they have a lot of, they have a lot of different resources and things like that. And one of the things on campus was they had a radio station, but they had a sports department within the radio station. And I kind of heard about it because I was doing my own like independent research, like, oh, what's, a new lay of the land. You want to figure out what's there, what's something you can work on. Mm-hmm. So I had heard they had a sports radio station. And what happened was, this is a funny story. I found out where it was, and they had an application. They're like, hey, you want to be a part of the sports department, list your experience, kind of, tell us why you want to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, oh, this is easy. Like, my experience in college, like, this is my life. So I'm writing everything down. I'm like, oh, this is light work. So I leave, put the application away. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, they're about to call me. They're about to blow my phone up. Oh yeah. Like it's on. And a couple days go by, I don't hear anything. And mind you, I'm in grad school. So my window is a little different. Like my program is literally a year. So cats on campus, they got 4 years, 3.5 to figure it out. Right. So my window is like a year. So we got to get it. Yeah. And they weren't calling me back. I remember I was working on a paper, and I was like, yo, they really haven't called me back. And I was mad. I was hot. And so I remember I was talking to a colleague, and in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm gonna go up there. And then I was telling them, and they were like, yeah, you should, because I was saying, I've done this, that, and the third. How you not gonna? So they were like, yeah, you should go up there. So I was working on the paper, finished the paper, beelined over to the studio where I dropped off my application, right? And then, so there was the person at the front door who usually guards the front door. They were not there, and the door was open.
Well, oh, wow.
So I'm like, we gonna get some clarity on this. We're gonna find out what happened. We're gonna all minds clear or something. So I'm walking in there, and I see two things. I see my application still in the cubby hole when I left it. But I'm like, dang. But then I see a number to like the sports department. So I'm like, I'm a journalist. I know how to work the phone lines. Yeah. So I call, and then I finally get sports director. And at this point, I am tight. I'm like, hi, I'm Paul Marshall. I applied to be a part of the radio department. I see my application still in the slot. What's going on, man? It's been a couple days. What's good? Yeah. And was shaking. So he says, hi, Paul. I haven't been by the office yet, but I'll tell you what. I'll look at it over the weekend, but we have our regular sports meeting on a Monday at 6 in the cafeteria. Come there. And I was just like, cool. Because really, I just needed an opportunity, right? Like I just needed that. So I get there, I show up, and, I'm meeting everybody. And they were like, okay, you want to be a part of the sports department? No problem. So what their protocol was that you had to shadow different shifts and kind of understand. So again, my window was only a year. So I wanted to do everything and know how to do it. So I had to shadow how to be a producer before I actually produced shows. I had to shadow how to be a panelist. So the breakdown was you had a producer, you had a show panelist, and then you had the radio host. Right. And you have to sit in a couple of shifts and just kind of understand the lay of the land before you actually do it. And so I first started off as a panelist, And then I started off as a show producer. So I was working behind the scenes. I was setting them calls.